Jeez. Yeah, sorry
Short job.
Yeah, I figure by request. Anyways. Yeah, sorry if it's taking a little bit here. And if there's like some strange things you're hearing with the audio, it's because my Wi-Fi's was acting a little funny this morning. I think it's affecting the party quality. Sorry about that. Anyways, hello everyone, and welcome back to PowerWash Simulator and the Lara Croft special.
We're off to go to places to put things in museums and clean other stuff.
Yep. And of course, I'm not flying solo this time. I'm here with the always eccentric Mr. Chaos.
I decided to buy the game. Because why not?
And the always fearsome Linkzilla.
He's back again, and about time too. And this time, he's in the mood.
Definitely in a good mood today. Yeah, normally. Yeah.
It's always a great mood when the DK rap gets referenced.
Yeah. Now, normally this would be done on a Sunday, but Link's schedule said no. So I switched it to Tuesday.
Yeah, basically like you could say goodbye to weekends.
Oh well. I could probably save the weekend streams for something special unless I get a job beforehand. Anyways, last time when I was playing solo, I was doing Lara Croft's obstacle course and her quad in the backyard, which I have full confirmation from a friend of mine in another little messenger chat that yes, that was indeed a tutorial level for one of the Tomb Raider games. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Yeah, because when I did the FF7 special like a while ago, I did the entire first chapter in the background. Weird. Anyway, so today, by request, turns out there's other things going on, so this may turn out to be a slightly shorter stream. And I figure, why don't we start off with Lara Croft's Jeep and Motorboat. In the courtyard, you will find my beloved Jeep and Motorboat. I'm afraid they're both bearing the additional weight of our adventures together, and I like to see them the kind of deep clean their sterling service deserves. If you could trouble yourself one more time on my account, I'd be very grateful. Oh, and take extra care with the boat. There may still be the odd shard of Venetia window glass lurking here and there. I'm not gonna ask. So, and also today I'm hoping that maybe Chaos would join me on this, so I'm gonna get this job started and see about activating the co-op.
Let's just hope that Chaos doesn't have to play through the entire game to unlock this place yet.
No, by the looks of things, the co-op thing only unlocks once the job starts. Okay, so got everything started. Alright, let's see. Turning on the co-op. Now.
Croft Manor.
Come on. There we go. And inviting a friend. Come on. Let me... Game? Hang on. Options. Let's see. General. Ah, there we go. The invite friends open. Yeah, sorry. Just give me a second. Please be patient with the, No. Please be patient with the blue screen of annoyance. There we go. Alright, sent you an invite.
I clicked it.
Okay.
Apparently I need to download it some more.
Oh, right. The thing is extra.
Oh, God dang it. It's having me get the PS4 version.
Oh, well, so much for that plan. The co-op's going off.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hang on. You bought the PS5 version of this game.
Yes, like, yes, they were two different options. Because, I have it on the PS5, might as well get it on the PS5. I wasn't expecting it to work like this.
Well, now we know to test these things before we attempt it. Seriously, why didn't they just put them both as this? And I'm guessing it's an extra charge for that, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm downloading it normally. I already bought the game, so.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we do the job, or do we wait?
Yeah,
Oh.
just. Actually, weird. It's not even letting me.
Is it because I turned off the co-op?
Maybe.
I'm gonna reset real quick. Something weird is going on.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry for all technical difficulties, guys, because like I said, things have been really weird with the Wi-Fi on my end since this morning. Anyways.
Okay, I appear to be good now.
Okay.
How good are you?
The phone is not recognizing you as a friend currently doing things, so it's
Oh,
very
that's because I
weird.
turned off the co-op. Hang on.
Yeah. One more shot.
I just gotta wait for the invite friend thing to be available.
It's still so messed up that like I have the PS5 version of the game and it's
Okay, let's try this again. Invite. Thankfully, it's by the looks of things, it's only made for 1 to 2 players, so here we go. Alright. We got it open. I sent the
Those little
invite.
Yeah.
squares are too happy.
yeah, it's not good. Let's see, is there some way of actually going through this? Because I don't understand. It's compatible versions too, so I have no idea why it's not letting me in unless I have the PS4 first. I may just continue on. I'll join in next time.
Yeah. And hopefully things will be as glitchy sounding.
Yeah.
Anyways. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully this topic I just mentioned to you guys before I hit the play button basically would help bring things up. Oh, it's very strange when you look at the kinds of experiences I have with my vehicles. You start to see them almost as friends. This Jeep, for example, got me out of one mighty scrape in Karnak. And you wouldn't believe the spaces the boat can squeeze itself into. Are you sure these things aren't made out of titanium? Anyway. I was mentioning to my co-hosts that recently I picked up the full pixel remaster collection of the first 6 Final Fantasy games. And it's given me something that I call a full nostalgic rush, where I'm actually playing it in a way that I used to as a kid, and I'm loving it. Basically, I'm like literally playing it how I used to when I first played the game on the original Nintendo. Especially with what I call the grinding loops, where I loop around for like gil and experience, because back then in the original games, the magic spells aren't learned. You had to like buy them in a shop. And you can only have like 3 of a certain level at all times, even if the shop offers 4. Which I don't mind, because I mostly grinded for all that gil, and it really built up the levels at the same time. I know it sounds kind of weird, because now these days the games, well, you learn the spells as you go along. Have you ever had games like that where you come across a game that reminds you of something you played as a kid, and you play it exactly how you do it as a kid and still enjoy it that way?
Not that I can specifically really think of off the top of my head. I guess the closest thing I can really come up with would be the Mario and Rabbids games, mainly just because of the fact that it reminds me a lot of XCOM, so...
Ah. That sounds cool. What about you, Link?
Me? I've got, like, more examples than I can count, because, I mean, honestly, I think that basically, like, gaming nostalgia is, like, very big with me, because I think that basically, like, some of the earliest games that you play, they're the ones that always sort of stick with you, and they're the ones that, I think that they're the ones that have the most powerful emotions. They can just sort of bring you back to that time when you first played them as a kid. Like, I cannot basically state how many times I have played games like The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask, probably more times than I can even count. And yet, every single time I play them, it always basically brings me back to the first time I ever truly played them, when all of it was brand new for me, and I had no idea what to do, where to go. All I had to do was basically just rely on my wits and just absorb all the different versions, all the different clues and storytelling beats that you had to follow in order to figure out the game. And it always just sort of feels so meaningful every single time I do, and it's just... I honestly think that's why I like going back to those games so much.
Yeah. And Lara just messaged me. Strange too, how these things always seem to find their way to you, even when you need them most. I was stranded in Deep Valley of the Kings, desperate to give chase to a man who betrayed me, when I stumbled across a set of ignition keys among the rocks. Okay! Looks like we found someone who could definitely enjoy a good time with Indiana Jones on an adventure.
I mean, Laura basically was crafted pretty much to be like the female version of Indiana Jones, or at least a competently written one.
And maybe without the fear of spiders.
Well, basically. I mean, does Laura even remotely fear anything? That's something I'll basically have to think about.
T-Rexes, probably.
I don't think she's necessarily afraid of T-Rexes. I think that basically she just sort of treats T-Rexes like they're just a fixture of reality. But since we're on the topic, like, the games that basically end up being, like, nostalgic, like, even Tomb Raider basically kind of rings true for me, because I don't know, like, which game it was, but it definitely wasn't the first Tomb Raider game, because I remember my first introduction to Tomb Raider starts out with this tutorial level where Laura is 14 years old and she's on an expedition with a mentor or somebody, a guy called Vernon. He basically teaches her the mechanics of the level, and then by the end of the level, he accidentally sets off some kind of booby trap that ends up getting him killed, and she basically has to escape and save her life, and that's basically like where her adventuring kind of begins. That's where she learned all the skills. Yeah, I basically kind of like remember that every single time I think about Tomb Raider, because that's basically like what I think of when it comes to Lara Croft. This is basically like how she got her start, so... But I definitely remember playing the first Tomb Raider game from PS1 back when I was a kid. Remember that very first level, you go deep and deep into it, and you're in this underground cave system. Suddenly you see something off in the distance, and holy crap, it's a friggin' Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, that game was full of so many weird things. I mean, I think that they basically got dinosaurs, they've got Atlantis, they've got King Midas. There's literally a statue where you can turn a bar of lead into a bar of gold, and if you accidentally step on it, you get this cutscene of Lara turning into a golden statue. Kind of
And
horrific.
yeah, oh god. Speaking of Lara, she messaged me again. Luckily for me, those keys belong to an empty Jeep. I say empty. I may have played some part in the emptying process. Sure, Lara. Sure.
Hey, sometimes it's how you can get supplies. Laura, how do you let your boat get this dirty? Seriously, woman.
Apparently, she went through a building with this thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I believe it, but still. I mean, and not to mention the fact that the first game's final boss is effectively an alien. Or is it meant to be a demon? I don't know. Alien.
Why be one when you can be both? An alien that is a demon.
Or a football-playing king in space.
I want there to be like some sort of series where not only is there like heaven and hell, but it's actually just like very localized. Like it's not all of reality. No. They're just heaven and hell for Earth in particular, and on a completely separate planet. It has its own sort of angels and demons equivalents.
Jeez.
Pretty sure that Rick and Morty did a joke about that.
Maybe.
He said that there was absolutely no evidence. That was like a crap ton of evidence. So, has it basically been revealed whether or not this is in, like, the original Tomb Raider continuity, or is this, like, in the reboot continuity?
Most likely the reboot, but I don't know. I never played Tomb Raider, so I'm gonna have to.
If I had to come up with a thing, I guess it would just depend on how much we know. Because I know for a lot of for what I know of the Tomb Raider thing, of the remake, I don't think that Laura has a mansion per se.
That's what I'm thinking.
So I'm thinking it might be the original.
There we go. Hey,
I'll have to see, but I
out of
think it is a
curiosity,
sequel.
Link, since you played the Tomb Raider games, which one has the tutorial level as a obstacle course in the backyard of the manor?
Well, that's the thing. I honestly think that it might be the first one, and I think that it's like an optional level that you can choose.
Okay.
Like, it's basically, from what I know, is that basically, like, you start up the first one, and it immediately throws you into it. But then, like, I remember my brother accessing the tutorial level and basically kind of, like, learning how to basically play the game. Maybe that's why he managed to get past the T-Rex.
There we go. All hands on deck. Every time when I say that, I'm immediately remembering this little thing that I activated on the Muppets Muppet Treasure Island computer game where Fozzie comes in and puts his hand on deck. Yes, I played those games.
I'm not knocking it. Muppet Treasure Island is probably one of my favorite of the Muppet movies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great songs in that one. And of course, Tim Curry. How can you go wrong with Tim Curry?
Yeah. If I recall correctly, he kind of retired from that due to health reasons.
Yeah, he's mostly semi-retired now, probably because of the stroke.
Yeah.
It's, not pleasant.
At least he recognized that, yeah, no, not... I better stop.
Pretty much, yeah. Hi, Darren.
Okay, where the heck is this last bit on the trim? If we're going to have the same issue I did cleaning those robots, I'm going to scream. Oh, no, found it. I think that's all the motorboat. Let me just double check the list. Oh, it's the other trim I need to finish. And the siren. And the stabilizer fin. Okay. And if I'm guessing correctly, the stabilizer fin in question is this bad boy. Yes, it is. Ah, there's the dirt. There we go. Let's see here now. Ah, there's the deck trim. Up. Thankfully, it's not as many bad tiny spots as on those robots.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about that. But yeah. And I swear, these last few weeks have been huge things of me getting remasters of games I played in the past. There we go. I'm gonna figure out where this dang siren is. Oh. It's this thing. There we go. Boat's done. Let's see. Definitely gets me curious. If there was ever a game that from your childhood that you want a remaster of, what would it be?
Too many to count. I think I'll let Chaos go first on this one.
Iggy's Wrecking Balls.
Pardon?
Real.
Iggy's Wrecking Balls. It was an old Nintendo 64 game.
Huh.
It was essentially a racing game where you control these little guys that are like balls that move around with their tongue. It was a very kind of weird looking game, but it was very fun.
Nice.
My sister actually right now is working on getting it for the Nintendo 64 that she has, so I'm excited.
Well, oh, another message from Laura. I'll never forget the purring engine and the thumping beat that blasted out as soon as I turned the key. Clearly, the Desert Warrior who previously owned it was both a first-rate mechanic and a huge fan of techno.
Well, I'm glad that all this is just mud, not rust.
Yep.
Seems to be bright colored mud. Laura, what are you driving this through? Georgia red clay?
Oh, there's also rust.
Oh.
Rust, mud, and sand. If I have to say, knowing her, it's probably the Gobi Desert. There we go. Sometimes the red nozzle is your best friend when it comes to all those little nooks and crannies that you can't reach in the back.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta blast it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyways, for me, before I got interrupted by that message, I would have to say it'd be the Banjo-Kazooie games. Exempting nuts and bolts. That game was just bad. And it was basically, no doubt, Microsoft taking pot shots at everyone's nostalgia because they had no idea what exactly people wanted or cared at the time. Not exactly one of their brightest moments after acquiring Rare.
I don't even know how Microsoft even got into the gaming scene. This is supposed to be like a software company.
Yeah, but apparently when the whole console war was happening, they wanted a piece of that pie.
I mean, I figured that basically trying to get on this would be trying to start a land war in Asia. You just don't do it.
And yet, they've managed to develop a firm foothold.
Minus
Is it really all that fun? I don't think it is.
There we go.
Well, they've been in the game for over 10 years now, so...
Well, you're not wrong there, Chaos.
Like 'em or hate 'em, but... Stay there now. They ain't leaving.
I just don't really see them as having the actual power that Sony and Nintendo have, because basically when you get down to it, the big choices are Nintendo or Sony, and they're so recognizable with their consoles and brands, and not to mention their exclusive content, their mascots and whatnot. Literally by comparison, Microsoft literally comes off as other. Like basically they're just the other option.
True,
Yeah.
but again, like I said, they've been in the game for over 10 years now. Any other competition that they're trying to get into there has already long since fallen out. They may not have that much in the way of console. They certainly do suffer. Like they definitely have trouble trying to get units sold in Japan, but ultimately they are in. Maybe one day they'll choose to stop, but they've stopping now.
Yep.
Just wish that they'd freaking sell Rare back to Nintendo. At least give it to people who actually would, at least for the slightest bit, know what to do with it.
I mean, Rare and Nintendo have been best buds for years. I mean, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have Donkey Kong Country.
Kind of makes me wonder what the heck Microsoft is even doing with Rare. What's the point?
Forcing them to make more COD games. Seriously.
Rare, Raven. How many more people have to be sacrificed on the altar of COD?
It's just not the same. And people kept on asking them nicely for another Banjo-Kazooie game. And you know what they said? Oh, sure, sure, we'll give you what you want. Here's a car-making simulator. Oh. As for the motorboat, I have no idea who the original owner was. They seem to be to a penny over there. Okay. In 90s Venice, you could jump out of a motorboat into the canal, dive under a lock, and find another just the same on the other side? Oh, hi, Darren. Well, at least we figured out where the motorboat came from. But yeah. Yeah, I know I sound like super salty about the whole thing with nuts and bolts, but I never even played Tooie yet, and on top of all that, Banjo-Kazooie was my first official Nintendo 64 game I ever played. I do not count that one weird fighting game my mom got me at the start.
I think that Banjo-Tooie was the first official one that my brother played. I think that he basically talked about that almost as much as he did about Ocarina of Time. Unfortunately, all this took place at a friend's house, and we basically getting gaming consoles just wasn't in the picture at the moment.
Yeah. My siblings and I had to share the gaming console.
Well, that's typical of households. It's only now that basically we've gotten to the point where multiple white single families will have multiple consoles just so the kids don't have to share.
Yep.
I mean, literally speaking, like, I basically, like, go over to my older sister's place. She and her husband both have their own separate PS4s, and I see them both playing them at the same time, playing completely different games, literally looking at opposite ends of the room, and it's like, are you too serious right now? I mean, do you even play with two people on the same PS4 anymore?
Yeah. Depends on the game, but yeah.
And not only that, they're basically like, well, they've already gotten a PS5.
Yeah, I need to look for a PS5 myself, so I won't be lagging behind on the loading screen times.
Yeah, let me know how much it is. That's even if you can actually physically find one.
They've been popping up more and more often in the stores now, so.
But man, I honestly cannot believe that the PS5 is already here, because I honestly felt kind of glad that I managed to catch up after all these generations, being stuck on GameCube and PS2 for like the last 15 years. Managed to close that gap, got PS3, got the Wii, then I got the Switch and I got the PS4. I mean, I had to switch to the Wii U, but let's face it, who doesn't skip the Wii U?
Yeah. Everyone that says putting a lot of those games on the Switch now.
Yep.
They're doing a lot better for the Switch.
I mean, it's basically like that meme that I saw. Basically like the episode of SpongeBob, The Great Snail Race, where SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick all enter in their pet snails into a race, except the joke with Patrick is that his pet snail is a rock. Basically speaking, like, it's the console wars with Microsoft being Squidward and Sony being SpongeBob with the PS4. Microsoft has their, I guess, Xbox One, and Nintendo shows up talking about the Wii U as rock, and everybody's like, Nintendo, that's a gimmick.
That was a pretty decent gimmick at the time.
Yeah. Gimmick.
I'm surprised no one made a meme picture about that, though.
No, they did. Like, I just can't find it.
Ah.
It was a long time ago. Like, back before freaking Breath of the Wild came out. Heck, I cannot believe that there was a time before Breath of the Wild came out. And now we've got Tears of the Kingdom releasing, what is it, this week?
This week, Friday.
And also, it's Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Oh.
I've basically been hearing a lot of rumors about what they might end up doing, so there could be a chance that we might be getting a Switch remaster of Ocarina of Time. And surprisingly, yeah, I'd actually be all for that.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Because I think part of the reason that basically irritated me about the 3DS version is that well, it was the 3DS version. And it was basically made for the 3DS, something that I basically didn't have. And I feel like you can't really cram something as big and as intricate as Ocarina of Time into a handheld game. But on the Switch, I think that basically it'll actually work a whole lot better. Not to mention the fact that the Switch can actually use the GameCube controller. Which,
Don't
let's
tell
face
me.
it, is the best thing that Nintendo has ever made.
Don't tell me. It's under
Yep.
the seat. I'm gonna scream!
Let it out, Anne. Let it out.
Not on stream. Because I don't want to be blasting out eardrums. Because if my squee bombs are pretty loud, so my screams won't be any better. And to think, I have to literally get through every nook and cranny of this.
Yep.
What?
The door opens?
I'm an idiot!
Well, I guess this is a situation where when God closes a window, he opened a door.
Must be really
laugh
convenient.
or cry. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Okay,
Sounds like you're
somebody
doing
needs
both.
a hug.
Oh, where's my Raichu plush? There it is.
Go
Oh,
ahead, kid, let it out.
I eat me, stupid Kitsune!
no.
Just chalk this up to being your doof du jour.
Yeah. I'll open the
Okay.
other one too.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, so
So
now
the other
you're
new
noticing
person?
Darren.
Yeah, Darren. Yeah. Sorry. Just noticing.
And it looks like that's on the... I don't know cars. I do not know cars.
Okay. Yeah, no, this whole Jeep. There we go.
Well,
Best part is, I get to the rest of the seat this way.
and we're at 99%.
There we go. Bunny hop across the Jeep.
Woo!
All the dings. And yeah, by request, this is going to be the only job I'm going to be doing today because, like I said, people have things to do and I do not want to keep them long from my little doof de jours, as Link put it.
Speaking of which, I basically need to I need to build that doof du jour counter in Minecraft somewhere in my base. Every single time I basically doof up in an episode, I turn on one of the lights.
Mm-hmm.
have a dirt sense?
Mm-hmm.
There it is, under the seats.
Yeah, I'll keep this open so I know I'm getting all the aha. Alright, what all am I missing on here? Quite a bit. The rear underside, the hinges, the indicators, and a headlight. Oh, and the footwell still. Oh, found the mess. Here's that done. Okay, those red things are the indicators. Let's see. Oh, the fuel cap? Huh. Oh, there it is. Here's the hinge. Now, which indicator is still... This bad boy's still dirty. There we go. All done. And look at that, in 43 minutes.
Excellent.
Well done.
Yep. There I am, going around, jumping all over the place.
Just like a little monkey.
Yeah. Astonishing work on the Jeep, on the boat and Jeep as always. It's almost as if Venice and Karnak never happened. Well, now we know where she brought those things.
Venice. That actually makes sense, judging by the style of boat.
Yeah, and she did say there was like there'd be possibly Venetian glass in the dang thing. You are really quite the wonder with that thing, and your prudence is admirable. Thank you again. You're welcome. All right, what's next on the docket? That'll be for next time. The frickin' maze.
The maze. Wow.
And since this isn't an over $100 job, yeah, this is definitely for next week. When we have more time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, we have a little bit more time. Hopefully we figured out all these technical difficulties.
Yeah, hopefully, like, we can get Chaos in on it and join you.
Actually, you guys sound a little bit more normal now. Wonder what's up. Probably... Yeah, maybe. Anyways. So I'd like to thank Link and Chaos for joining me like they always have.
Yep,
No
glad to
problem.
be here.
Yep. And remember, the only real magic you have is your imagination.
And doors.
Yes.
They're very magical.
And to remember that some things have doors that can open. Oy.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.